with the Czech newspaper Literarni Noviny that killing civilians is an act of terrorism. Army inflicts heavy losses on terrorists in Daraa and Homs, killing dozens of them. Iraqi army continues military operations against ISIL terrorists in Salah ad-Din and Al-Anbar provinces. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rado Krikorian with the news in English. In an interview with the Czech Literarni Noviny today, to be published tomorrow, President Al-Assad said Syria is against killing innocent people anywhere in the world. Syria has been telling Western politicians that they should not support terrorism or provide a political umbrella for it, as this would have its impact on their countries and peoples, the President affirmed. The recent event in France, His Excellency added, proves that what Syria has been saying is correct and that the European policies are responsible for what happened in our region and France recently. In reply to a question on France's recent events, the President said, killing civilians is terrorism regardless whether we agree or differ politically with the people killed. We are against killing innocent people anywhere in the world. It is our principle, the President asserted. His Excellency added that Syria is one of the most understanding countries in the world of such issue because it has been suffering from terrorism for 4 years and has lost thousands of innocent people. We would like at the same time to remind the West that we have been talking about such repercussions since the beginning of the crisis, but Western politicians are short-sighted and narrow-minded, the President said. In reply to a question on the best way to combat terrorism, President Al-Assad said, we should distinguish between fighting terrorism and fighting the terrorists. We have to fight terrorists because they kill innocent people, and we have to defend those people. Fighting terrorism needs no army. It needs new policies. Ignorance must be fought through education, and a good economy must be built to combat poverty, the President pointed out, adding that information must also be exchanged among the states concerned with fighting terror. A military source has said Syrian Arab army units have eliminated 40 terrorists and destroyed an ammunition warehouse in Sheikh Miskin in Daraa suburb. They also killed 25 terrorists in Mzerib after destroying an anti-aircraft machine gun in western Gharia in Daraa countryside. Others fled the area after sabotaging services utilities and stealing and destroying citizens' houses. In Homs, several terrorists were killed or injured in western Al-Mderje and Ain Hussein in Telbise. Welcome back. Syria has been the cradle of civilization and the birthplace of heavenly religions and their messages to the whole world. This has been stressed by Prime Minister Dr. Al-Halaqi during his meeting with His Holiness Patriarch Ignatius Aphrem II of Antioch and all the Orient, Supreme Chief of the Syriac Orthodox Church in the world, and the delegation of clerics accompanying him. Dr. Al-Halaqi said, the Syrian society, with its diverse components and coherent social fabric and national unity, is the secret behind Syria's steadfastness against the destructive civil war. Al-Halaqi referred to the presence of a real Syrian desire to solve the crisis politically through inter-Syrian dialogue that goes in parallel with combating terrorism and reconstructing what the terrorists have destroyed. On his part, Patriarch Ignatius said, Syria will remain a symbol of cohesion and coexistence among all the Syrians, expressing confidence in the Syrian people's ability to triumph and defeat terrorism. In Lebanon, an explosive device weighing 30 kilograms planted by terrorists has been found on the main highway between Tripoli and Zgharta in North Lebanon. The Lebanese army and security men sealed off the area as a military expert successfully defused the device without any casualties. Iraqi troops continued to chase ISIL terrorists, inflicting heavy losses upon them in the areas of Salah ad-Din, Al-Anbar and Baghdad. An Iraqi military source said that 10 gunmen were killed, including terrorist leader Abu Qutayba, during clashes with an army Iraqi security force north of Tikrit as they were preparing to blow up a bridge. In the same context, the military operation is underway to liberate the areas of Al-Nibai and Al-Kassarat north of Baghdad. The Iraqi army destroyed 3 dens used by ISIL terrorists north of the capital. In another development, 2 civilians were wounded following the explosion of a car bomb south of Tikrit. In China, local authorities arrested members of a Turkish gang affiliated with terrorism in Xinjiang province using false passports and documents. A Chinese local source said that the police confiscated tapes and recorded materials in addition to communication equipment. The terrorists already confessed that they were planning to escape into Afghanistan and Syria to join the armed terrorist groups there. It is worth mentioning that Turkey, along with some Gulf countries, has been playing a destructive role in funding and protecting the terrorist groups in Syria. Fear and panic spread across Europe in the wake of the terrorist attacks on the controversial Charlie Hebdo newspaper, which republished today offensive pictures of Prophet Mohammad on the front cover. 3 million copies of Charlie Hebdo were being delivered across France, a week to the day after the assault by 2 masked gunmen that killed 12 people, including many of the magazine's editorial staff and 2 police officers. It was the beginning of 3 days of terror that saw 17 people killed before the 3 extremist attackers were gunned down by security forces. The latest issue of Charlie Hebdo has maintained the intentionally offensive tone that made the newspaper famous in France, although global news organizations have differed in their decisions to run images of the cover. Now over to latest business and market news, but after a short break. Stay tuned.